Friday morning, the one and only Hall of Famer, two-time Super Bowl champ, Jimmy Johnson. So good to have you with us, Coach. Thank you so much for making some time. Obviously, you know, we're big fans of the Cowboys on this show. And, you know, over the last quarter century, it's been rough for America's team. But I'm going to defer to the expert here on all things Cowboys. That would be one Stephen A. Smith, because I know he's champing at the bit to talk to you.
Well, first of all, Coach, it's great to see you. You look great, sir. Let me say that. And I just want to ask you, first of all, forgive me for asking this first question. Would you mind explaining to America out there what happened to the Cowboys this year? I mean, I know Dak got hurt. Is it that simple? Or is there something else that you saw that isn't working?
Well, obviously their defense struggled. They should have never changed over to a new scheme of defense. The players were out of position. I think they resisted the change. And they really struggled there for most of the season. That was a big part of it. And then, of course, getting the injury to Dak, but all the teams throughout the league had injuries. And so you just got to deal with injuries. But that was a devastating injury, of course. I think they still got a lot of talent, but they've got to put it together this offseason and improve that defense and get Dak signed to a contract and back healthy.
Coach, isn't it time to admit what's going on with the Cowboys here? They're cursed, like the Red Sox were after Babe Ruth. It's been a quarter century. It's the curse of Jimmy Johnson. Let's admit it. Jerry Jones couldn't take the fact, his ego couldn't take that you were getting credit. Barry Switzer won one with your team, with your players, and they haven't sniffed it since then. Is this not the curse of Jimmy Johnson?
I think it's the curse of Stephen A. Smith. He actually says, how about them Cowboys better than I do? Stephen A., that's your curse. You're the one that's cursing.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But on a slightly more serious note, before we get into the conversations about the Super Bowl, because I really want to hear what you have to say about that. I do, in all seriousness, I think it's an absolute travesty that you are not in the Cowboys' Ring of Honor. I know you may not care, but you belong in there, and I just want to say that for the record. Do you even care about that? Does that matter to you, sir?
Well, of course, you want accolades. You want to be recognized. Jerry's told me 3 or 4 times over the last 10 years that he was going to put me in. He may wait until I croak before he puts me in, but he will do it eventually.
Okay.
I mean, come on. Could you imagine, like, the Chicago Bulls? We're going to have a Ring of Honor, and Phil Jackson's not. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Let's go to the Super Bowl, Coach. We got Kansas City and Tampa Bay going at one another. Talk to me, highlight this matchup for me. What are your thoughts going into Super Bowl 55?
Well, I never thought that I would even consider going up against Andy Reid or Patrick Mahomes. Andy's one of the great coaches of all time. Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen, including John Elway, which I didn't ever think anybody would be more talented than Elway. But you look at it, the Buccaneers, they're probably going to get Antonio Brown back. That'll help. And then with Kansas City, with those tackles being injured, with Fisher being out, Todd Bowles has done such a great job with that Buccaneer defense. He's going to give Mahomes some problems. Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time just because of the record. He's won more Super Bowls than anybody ever will win. But Patrick Mahomes, when we got ready for the Super Bowl last year, watching him, he's just so special. He can make all the throws. He's got great vision. He's mobile. Just such a talented quarterback. I can't go against him and Andy Reid.
Coach, neither can I. And Mahomes reminds me, you bring up Elway. I think of Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre had a baby. Like, he has all the stuff that Aaron Rodgers has,
Yeah.
plus that gunslinger stuff, but he doesn't make the mistakes Favre made. What is it about Mahomes that jumps out at you that makes him different from Elway or even from Rodgers?
Well, you look at, he protects the ball. I think it's because of his vision. He makes the great deep throws. And, of course, he's got the great speed at receiver, but he makes great deep throws. He's always got Kelsey that he can go to. He's his security blanket. But he can throw from all kinds of angles. He doesn't have to really have his feet set. He can, get out of the pocket. He's got a great feel for avoiding the rush. I could go on and on and on with all the accolades. He's the best I've ever seen. Now, I think Aaron Rodgers, maybe one of the most talented quarterbacks around. But even Aaron Rodgers can't go, with Mahomes. He is just special.
Yeah, and Coach, he's just getting started. But Coach, I want to ask you this, because the other dominant storyline this week, obviously besides the Super Bowl, is Deshaun Watson. What do you make of this whole situation, and what team do you think would be a good fit for him?
I think the best fit for Deshaun Watson is, if I was David Culley, I'd go knock on his door, and I'd say, Deshaun, let's have us a Michelob Ultra. And I would talk to him. And I'd do whatever it takes. I'd put my ego aside and I'd say, hey, the best thing for you is to stay right here. Make concessions, do whatever it takes. Do not lose that player. As far as trades, it's so difficult with the salary cap, with the contracts. Really what you got to do compensation-wise to make trades. But with Deshaun Watson, David Culley needs to try to keep him there. Try to talk him out of it. That's the best thing going right now.
Coach, I'm a little surprised that you say that, because while the Texans have really screwed this up, what Deshaun Watson would bring back, you were the guy. I mean, you built a dynasty on a trade for Herschel Walker, and as valuable as running backs were then, it ain't a quarterback today. Deshaun Watson be the biggest trade in history. The Texans could rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah, but they're not going to win any games if they don't have a quarterback. And I had a little similar situation when I had Steve Walsh and Troy Aikman. Troy wasn't real happy that I drafted Steve Walsh, my quarterback from Miami, but I drafted Steve Walsh for one reason, to trade him to get some picks. I got a 1, 2, and a 3 for him. But that first year, I had to walk a tightrope between the two. I couldn't, say, hey, Troy Aikman's my guy, because I didn't want to diminish the trade value for Walsh. But after Walsh was traded, then I go to Troy's house and I knock on his door, and he had mentioned he kind of liked the tropical fish tanks. I said, hey, let's have us a cold beverage and let's spend some time together. Let's set up your tropical fish tank. We went out and spent the entire day together. We were looking around for tropical fish. I set up a tank in his house, and we bonded. And so you got to do whatever it takes to keep that quarterback. They're hard to find.
Coach, what does it say to you, being the experienced NFL aficionado that you are? What does it say to you that Deshaun Watson feels the way that he feels now? After just signing a long-term deal with them a year ago, for it to be a 180, to me that says it's about something more than just football that's going on with that organization, Coach.
Well, I don't think it was right. I think they upset him, and it would have upset me by trading Hopkins. Here you've got a great receiver. That's one thing. The other thing is, evidently, there's some people around there that he doesn't like. Well, if he didn't like them, other than the owner, I'd get rid of them, because they're not near as important as Watson. Do whatever it takes. Make concessions. Keep that quarterback.
Coach, let me ask you this. Say we were sitting back and having a Michelob Ultra Light, and we were discussing Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Would you give the same type of advice? Would you say the Dallas Cowboys should do whatever it takes to keep Dak Prescott?
Well, they should have done whatever it took 3 years ago. They should have done whatever it took 2 years ago. They should have given in to a 4-year contract rather than wanting a 5-year contract last year. He's the leader of that football team. He's the right kind of person. You can win with him. He's not Patrick Mahomes, but he is an outstanding winning quarterback that you can win a championship with. And so they need to do whatever it takes to get him signed.
Coach, I need your help. Because here's the deal, Coach. Here's the deal, Coach.
Okay.
I need your spirit. I need you, Coach. Because I want to shock everybody. I don't like seeing this. I actually like Jerry Jones a lot. I really do. I like this man.
I do too.
And here's my issue with him. It's the Ring of Honor. To me, it should be the fans making that decision, not the owner of the Cowboys in terms of the Ring of Honor. It's Dak Prescott. He wants to hold out for 5 years instead of giving him a 4. Jerry Jones just seems to get in his own way too much. What can we do to help Jerry Jones?
Stephen A., I like Jerry. I mean, I really have a great relationship. And people talk about him meddling. He doesn't meddle. He didn't meddle with me at all. He is the finest businessman I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, as far as the Ring of Honor, that's fine. It will happen. He's told me enough times. It will happen eventually. I'm fine with it. Whenever he wants to put me in, that's fine. I'll go with it.
Okay.
All right.
I like Jerry.
I know.
I like
Jimmy
Jerry.
does too. Jimmy
do.
said he
You
does
see
too.
what it takes
Maybe in
to be-
another decade it'll happen.
Who doesn't like Jerry? He can walk in a room, he's got that smile on. Norm Turner used to tell me this. I would be all upset and mad, and I'm going down and I'm going to talk to Jerry about what he said. And Norm said, you will tell the guys, he said, hey, Jimmy will walk down to Jerry, and Jerry will tell Jimmy just how great he is, and Jimmy will walk out with a big smile on his face, and everything will be fine. Jerry, he's the greatest salesman in the world.
That charisma sure is an excellent businessman. All right, Coach. So Michelob Ultra just pre-released a Super Bowl commercial, and I enjoy this question. I'm an introspective person. It says, are you happy because you win, or do you win because you're happy? So as a two-time Super Bowl winning head coach, what's your take on the role of the joy of winning?
I saw the commercial and I started thinking about it. I said, it is a pretty cool commercial because when I'm upbeat and positive and happy, I was a better coach. I think everybody is in whatever job they might have. So it really is a cool commercial. And on top of that, 95 calories and only 2.6 carbs keeps me in shape because I'm an active guy.
Right. You look good,
It's
man.
that 2.6
You look
carbs.
good.
You can't beat it. 2.6 carbs.
Yeah.
You look good. You look good, Coach. You look good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Listen, even Max can burn the 2.6 carbs on the elliptical. We're all good. All right, Coach, thank you so much for being with us. We so appreciate you. And go ahead. Yeah.
Max is much better shape than Stephen A. Stephen A. hollers too much. He can't be in good shape.
Hey,
His vocal cords are in
Coach,
good
I got
shape.
Here it comes.
I got
Here it
news
comes.
for you. He got a bad back working on an elliptical. I don't
That's
think
true.
he's in any position to say that, Coach.
True.
Oh,
Herniated disc.
I hate to hear that.
Here we go.